Berlin, 1936. The Olympic Games are about to begin, and the world is watching. In the grandstands sits Adolf Hitler, confident that these games will prove his ideology of Aryan supremacy to the entire globe. Nazi flags wave across the stadium. The atmosphere is heavy, charged with politics and propaganda. The message is clear. These Olympics are meant to be a showcase of Nazi power. And then, from the United States, steps a young African-American sprinter named Jesse Owens. A man who grew up picking cotton in the fields of Alabama, who battled poverty and discrimination in America, and who now stands on the world's biggest stage under the glare of the man who wants to erase his existence. Nobody expected what was about to happen. Owens doesn't just race. He explodes out of the blocks, defies gravity in the long jump, and dominates event after event. By the end of the games, he has claimed 4 gold medals, silenced a dictator, and inspired millions. In front of the world, Jesse Owens shattered Hitler's myth of superiority, proving that greatness has no color, no borders, and no limits. This is the story of when Jesse Owens shocked the world in 1936, and why his victories still echo almost a century later. Jesse Owens wasn't he supposed to be a hero? At least, not according to the world of 1936. Born the son of a sharecropper in segregated America, he grew up in poverty, battled discrimination, and faced countless obstacles. Yet he transformed himself into one of the greatest athletes of all time. But his story is more than Olympic medals. It's about courage, resilience, and the power of sport to send a message louder than politics, louder than hate, louder than fear. In this video, we'll explore Jesse Owens' rise from humble beginnings, his road to the Berlin Olympics, how he silenced a dictator's ideology in front of the entire world, and the legacy that makes him one of the most important figures in sports history. Chapter 1. Humble beginnings. Jesse Owens was born James Cleveland Owens in 1913 in Oakville, Alabama, the son of sharecroppers. His childhood was marked by poverty, hard labor, and the harsh realities of racial segregation. At the age of 9, his family moved to Cleveland, Ohio during the Great Migration, hoping for better opportunities. It was in Cleveland that Jesse discovered his gift for running. He was small, frail, and often sick as a child. But when he ran, everything changed. His speed set him apart. At school, he broke records in sprinting and long jump, catching the attention of coaches who saw his potential. One coach in particular, Charles Riley, played a huge role. He gave Jesse personal training, but more importantly, he gave him belief. Riley let him train before school and even protected him from punishment when Jesse missed classes for competitions. This mentorship planted the seeds for greatness. Less than talent might open the door, but belief and opportunity unlock destiny. Chapter 2. Rising Star. By the time Jesse attended Ohio State University, his athletic potential was undeniable. But life wasn't easy. Segregation meant that, even as a college athlete, Jesse couldn't live in dormitories with white students. And when traveling for competitions, he was often forced to eat in separate restaurants or sleep in different hotels. Despite this, he thrived on the track. In 1935, at a meet in Ann Arbor, Michigan, Jesse Owens achieved what many call the greatest 45 minutes in sports history. Within 3/4 of an hour, he set 3 world records and tied a 4th in the 100 yards. Long jump, 220 yards, and 220-yard hurdles. Think about that. 4 world records in less than an hour. Even today, it's almost unimaginable. This performance made him a star in America and guaranteed his place on the 1936 Olympic team. Lesson. Greatness is often forged, not in comfort, but in defiance of adversity. Chapter 3. Berlin, 1936. The world stage. The 1936 Olympics were unlike any other. Berlin had been chosen as the host city years earlier, but now Nazi Germany ruled under Adolf Hitler. The games were intended as a showcase for Nazi ideology, a demonstration of Aryan superiority for Jesse Owens, a black athlete from America. The stage couldn't have been more hostile. He faced not only the weight of representing his country, but also the burden of challenging a political system that openly dismissed his humanity. And yet, When the competition began, Jesse Owens didn't crumble. He soared. On August 3rd, he won gold in the 100 meters, outrunning the best sprinters in the world. The very next day, he claimed gold in the long jump after a dramatic duel with German champion Luz Long, who famously encouraged and supported Owens despite the political climate. That moment of sportsmanship became legendary, a reminder that respect transcends ideology. Owens went on to win gold in the 200 meters and then again in the 4x100 meter relay, bringing his total to 4 gold medals, a feat unprecedented at the time. The message was clear. Hitler's myth of racial superiority had been shattered by a young man from Alabama. Lesson: when courage meets preparation, history can be rewritten. Chapter 4. The aftermath. Jesse Owens left Berlin, a global icon. Crowds cheered his victories, and newspapers hailed his achievements. Yet when he returned to the United States, reality hit hard. Despite representing his country on the world stage, Owens came home to segregation and discrimination. He wasn't invited to the White House, he received no phone call from President Roosevelt, and he struggled financially after the games. The same America that celebrated his victories abroad often denied him basic dignity at home, but Owens never let bitterness define him. He used his platform to inspire others, speaking out about equality, opportunity, and the power of sport to bring people together. His humility, dignity, and grace became as much a part of his legacy as his medals. Lesson: true greatness isn't just about victory. It's about character in the face of injustice. Chapter 5. Legacy. Jesse Owens' impact went far beyond the track. He became a symbol of hope during one of history's darkest times. His friendship with Luz Long remains one of the most powerful stories of sportsmanship ever told. His victories in Berlin showed the world that courage, determination, and talent could break through even the strongest walls of hate. Over the years, Owens was honored with awards, statues, and tributes. In 1976, President Gerald Ford awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. His story continues to inspire athletes and dreamers worldwide. Most importantly, Jesse Owens reminded us that sport is more than competition. It's a stage where humanity, equality, and excellence can shine. Lesson: legends are not defined by medals, but by the change they inspire. Conclusion: in 1936, Jesse Owens didn't just run races. He ran straight into history. 4 times he stepped onto the track, and 4 times he left the world in awe. The 100 meters, the 200 meters, the long jump, and the relay, 4 gold medals. 4 strikes against a poisonous ideology that wanted to divide the world by race and by hate. But Owens proved something timeless. He showed that the human spirit is stronger than oppression, that courage is more powerful than propaganda, and that no wall of prejudice can stop someone determined to rise. When he leapt into the air for his long jump victory, it wasn't just an athlete soaring above the sandpit, it was humanity itself, soaring above fear and division. And what makes Owens' story even more powerful is that his greatness didn't end with the medals. When he returned home, he still faced segregation, discrimination, and the cold reality that America wasn't ready to fully celebrate a black hero. Yet, he carried himself with humility, grace, and dignity. He didn't let bitterness define him. Instead, he turned his victories into a legacy of inspiration, speaking, mentoring, and reminding generations that sport can break barriers. And that character matters as much as speed. Jesse Owens taught us that greatness is not just measured in seconds or in meters. It's measured in impact. It's measured in the way your story inspires others to believe, to push, and to fight for their own dreams. Owens shocked the world in 1936, but his true victory is that almost a century later, his story still inspires millions to run their own race, no matter the odds. So remember this: your life may never be lived under the Olympic spotlight, but every single day, you step into your own arena. And just like Jesse Owens, you have the chance to prove that nothing, not doubt, not fear. Not the voices that tell you you can stop you when you choose courage, discipline, and faith in yourself. If Jesse Owens' story gave you goosebumps, then you're already part of the mentality scene. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and share this video with someone who needs to hear that their limits are not permanent. Drop a comment below and tell us, what do you think is the most inspiring part of Jesse Owens' story? Because here, we don't just tell stories of legends. We learn from them. We take their mentality, their lessons, and we use them to fuel our own lives. Jesse Owens didn't just shock the world. He lit a fire that still burns. And the best way to honor that fire is to keep it alive in ourselves. So join us, subscribe, and let's keep running this race together. One habit, one mindset, one victory at a time.